covered. 76ers still have a 3-2 series advantage, but Toronto has avoided elimination in back-to-back games and forced a Game 6 on their home court. Mavericks roll over the Jazz 102-77. Luka Doncic, 33 points, 13 rebounds for Dallas. Utah star Donovan Mitchell left the game with a hamstring injury, didn't return. He's going to have an MRI later today. Dallas now leading that series 3-2. I'm Eddie Garcia.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. Early break. Full show ahead. Robin Wash at 7:30. Some news for Nebraska basketball, possibly, at least maybe some news there. There's a guy in the portal from South Dakota State that might want to come home. You never know. Baylor Shireman from South Dakota State. That'd be a nice addition for Nebraska. Not saying it's going to happen.
You're big on the Dakota guys, aren't you?
I am. Because they perform and they care. They have a little care about them. They work harder and smarter than some other guys. What? It's just true. I know you don't like the Summit League. You think it's a little, it's a little podunk league, but they got some good players there.
Wait a second. What have I ever said about the Summit League?
Well,
what have I ever said? I've never even talked about the Summit League.
Well, that's one thing. It's not, yeah.
I've never talked about the Summit League, Jacob.
We have one Baylor Shireman fan in this room, and that's me. Right
I've never seen him play.
I have. I want that guy.
He take Nebraska to the promised land.
Yeah, well, he could take them to a few more wins at least. 47% on threes last year.
I'm sure he's good. Where's he from?
He's from Aurora.
He's
from the state.
Aurora.
He was a good quarterback in high school. Obviously a good basketball player.
Okay.
We will
ask Rob.
Yeah, we'll talk to Rob about Baylor Shireman and the potential of getting him to Nebraska.
Gus is on the scene.
Gus is here. Gus has a hat on today for the first time. That means he's probably was running a little late this morning. It's my assumption.
It's a beef jerky hat.
Well, I know, but he doesn't wear a hat very often.
No.
Gus has good flow over there. Got a haircut recently.
What is it with our all?
I know.
Think about our
They're young. They're young.
Think about our last 3 EPs. Big Sky.
Yep. Good.
Flo. Who's the actor he looked like?
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Think young Alec Baldwin. Gus. That's what Big Sky looked like.
Okay.
Then we had Harrison.
Flo.
A
young Tom Petty.
Do
we have a Gus comparison yet?
I don't have
celebrity.
Yes, Bob Saget.
Yeah, yes, a young Bob Saget. There it is with the hat.
Yes.
I think without the hat, I couldn't tell you that. With the hat on, I see.
Do you see Bob Saget?
I for sure see a young Bob Saget.
You nailed that one, didn't you? Yeah,
that's pretty good, man. You get that pretty quickly there.
Yeah, but with the hat on, the haircut, he definitely looks more.
Yeah,
like
with
Bob
the long
Saget.
flow, I don't see Bob Saget, but right now, the hat, shorter hair. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Thank you, Jake.
I'll go with that. Oh, I appreciate that.
Dang, actually, we're on the same page.
It's rare, but there it is this early.
Don't
it's amazing. No, please don't.
40. Does that do anything?
It's just
computer.
Well, I'm worried about the computer getting messed up. Yeah, any sort of surprise attack on the computer could affect it.
I'll keep
or the board.
I'll keep
you like to pound the table when you're making a point. We can just
what?
Hypothetically pound the table, pound some air.
We used to have a cowbell. Boom. We used to have a bell.
The cowbell is still here somewhere. Got to go find it.
Who brought that in?
That was
you'll remember.
No, that was Brandon. Brandon, listener Brandon brought in a cowbell years ago for us, and
let's stop the small talk.
That's fine. 402-464-5685. Call or text as always. Last night, Scott Frost spoke for an hour with the Husker Sports Network on a variety of things.
He's going to ask me what stood out.
Well, I didn't listen. I read the report. I read things that happen. I guess I found interesting. I guess maybe there was the way I read this was there was kind of a slight at Ryan Held in there, former Nebraska running backs coach. He said the running back group needed to get more mature, and I think he said that Brian Applewhite has brought that to the table.
Disciplined.
Yeah, discipline. So I don't know if you want to call that a shot at Ryan Held or just a compliment to Brian Applewhite, but I caught that with I read that and was like, interesting.
Okay.
Regarding Ryan Held.
Yeah, that's one thing. I listened to it, read the report. I was struck by
What are you struck by? Come on.
this Ireland thing is he clearly is, and this is appropriate for the situation, that he made it pretty clear that this is a business trip. He essentially said we have one or two outings planned, but we got to beat Northwestern. This is not a sightseeing tour for Nebraska. It is
for me. And maybe you.
I'll probably do more of that than you think. I don't know that I'll go out into the countryside. Maybe
I'll drive you out there.
Oh, you'll drive me.
Yeah. I'll take you to the countryside, show you the beautiful country of Ireland.
Take me to a golf course.
Yeah, I will.
I found it interesting. For instance, the headline on the Husker Extra story. Okay. The headline on the Husker Extra story made me chuckle. Scott Frost says Huskers seek to make minor changes, not drastic changes. So hiring 5 new assistants
that's just minor. It's no big deal.
No, what's interesting, he does elaborate on it, and I'm having a little fun with this. I thought it was interesting hearing him say that. Sometimes I wonder if coaches are just messing with us. Just messing with us collectively.
I often think that they are.
Yeah, because I mean, in this case, maybe he did say Nebraska kept its recent spring camp, the one that just was completed, quote unquote, ridiculously simple to help accommodate Mark Whipple and the 3 new offensive assistants. Now they have 3 new offensive assistants, 4 new offensive assistants plus Bill Bush. Now here's what he said. Now this is. Now, serious talk, okay? This is quote from Scott Frost. If you believe you're doing things the right way, which we do, I think drastic changes are a mistake. Tweaks are what you need, Scott Frost said. Not being stuck in your ways. Looking for ways to improve, ways to do things a little bit different. And now, this is what I mean by it. Sometimes I think coaches are messing with us. At one point during the spring, he said, we're in the process of combining my offense with Whipple's offense. Now, that's not a tweak. Is that a tweak?
Depends how differently they are.
Yeah.
If they're on the same, they're not that much different. I can't assume.
Okay. All right.
So that I'm okay with.
You're being reasonable.
Yeah, that's me not being pessimistic. Hey, listen, you hear that? That was not pessimism there.
That's strange almost.
That was not cynicism. That was actual, optimism.
Okay. Well, it's not optimism, but you're being reasonable.
Okay, fine. I'll be reasonable, but I think that's
I'm probably being a little unreasonable.
See, that feels like I kind of agree with that's a little bit of a tweak there.
Here's what he said. Continuing in this vein, we can't change the basis of what we do and how we do it because I've seen it work before. It has worked. It will work. It does work. Okay. I'll wait till you're done typing.
I'm listening. I caught that. I caught my ear there.
This is what he said. We can't change the basis of what we do and how we do it because I've seen it work before. It has worked. It will work. It does work. Particularly as close as we were in almost every game last year, we're always looking for one little way to get that much better. Major drastic changes probably aren't what you need. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought they made drastic changes
this offseason.
Yeah.
They hired 4 new offensive coaches
and a new assistant in Bill Bush.
Yep.
Now I thought that was drastic.
The offensive side was drastic. Now the way I could say maybe him saying it's not drastic is the fact that is the offense going to operate a similar way? It's going to be
Sure.
different people speaking that, teaching and coaching the players.
Right.
But if the play calling, if the general offensive sets aren't that much different, then I guess I understand what he's saying by it's just a tweak.
Tweaks.
It's a tweak instead of
Okay.
a major change. You're not going from what they were doing last year to running a triple option attack.
That would be major drastic.
That would be
change.
drastic. That would cause a lot of changes in the offseason.
The biggest change in the program, Frost continued, was offensive line coach Donovan Raiola, who has done a wonderful job already of teaching new, aggressive coaching style to a relatively experienced group of linemen who'd had the same position coach for 4 seasons, who's in the process of teaching a new, aggressive style. Okay, not drastic. Maybe are we still going with tweak?
I mean, my
Are we
question.
still going with
No,
tweak?
the question I have is how much different can an offensive line perform from year
I
to year?
appreciate you being reasonable.
Like
on this.
for us to say, oh, they're going to go from a soft offensive line to a line that pushes teams around. Like what makes that happen? Is it just a coach changes the way they operate, or is it their mentality? I mean,
this is where
it's a mentality thing.
our amateurism shows. Neither of us have coached.
I've never coached the offensive line. I've never been big enough to be an offensive lineman.
Right. But there is a different philosophy right now where in layman's terms, Austin's approach was probably less aggressive and more apt to avoid mistakes. Where Donovan is more of a fire off the ball coach, which can get you in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you miss an assignment, the gap it's going to be more presentable.
Yep.
Whereas with Austin, it was a little more cautious approach. That's one way. To do
Yeah,
this.
I
Do you
would
understand what I'm
I'd say
saying?
this though. Cautious did not work with this offensive line.
No,
It did not work.
no. In Frost,
So I guess why not be more of the Raiola style where it's aggressive? Because whatever happened last year, the last couple of years has not been sustainable for success for the offensive line at Nebraska.
right. I'm going to get to some more here.
But I again.
Interesting.
I'm curious to see the offensive line again. Like I said, we didn't see a lot in the spring game. They weren't great in that game from what we saw, but it was still 2-hand touch in the first half. How much can you learn if it is actually tackle football? Probably a lot more.
Okay, of the quarterbacks, let's stay on offense, Jake.
Okay,
Let's stay on offense. Just tangle with me.
I'm tangoing.
He said quarterbacks Casey Thompson and Chubba Purdy both have talent and like to compete. But Nebraska doesn't want to just crown somebody the starter until he has earned it. But Frost said taking full command of the offense is hard for a quarterback to do until there is a starter. That was Sam McEwen's story. Parker also wrote a story. It took a little different angles. It was interesting. But the quarterback, I want to get to the quarterback discussion here. Hold on. The quarterback discussion, Frost he's not crowning anybody. He did sort of portray it as being open. Still a competition, which is what I like, by the way. That's the way I think it should be done. Instead of just if Casey Thompson hasn't earned it in the coach's eyes, why name him? I'm always interested in that conversation because people raise that.
Yeah, I mean, our assumption is that he's the guy, but yeah, you're right. If they're not saying that right now that he's the guy, then maybe they're not that confident right now that he is miles or he's better than Chubba Purdy or whatever else they have.
Or maybe they just want him to earn it. Now, getting to staying on the offensive side, getting to what you said about Applewhite, this is exactly what Frost said about Brian Applewhite, the new running backs coach. This is what Frost said, quote, that room needed some discipline.
Mm-hmm.
and needed to improve. He's done a great job recruiting and has done a great job with that room. He also said,
doesn't that catch your attention? I mean,
Yes.
to say that that room
needed more discipline.
needed discipline.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a hello to Ryan Held, basically.
A little bit. Yeah.
The
It does.
previous coach
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I'd say it does. Also, what got my attention, I'm sure this will get your attention. It got mine. Frost said he thinks the results of adding the 5 new coaches this offseason will show on the recruiting trail, quote, I don't
Yep.
know what to make of these.
Yeah, I saw this one too.
We got a lot better as a staff from a recruiting standpoint, Frost said. Okay, that's good. That's good news, bad news, right?
Yeah.
Why did you need to get a lot better?
Or why did it take so long to make a change
Exactly.
to get better? Yeah. If it,
That's
if
what
it,
I guess
if it needed,
that's what I'm
if it
trying to
needed
say.
big improvement, why didn't it happen beforehand?
There's another quote from him that fell in that category. In terms of special teams, Frost said among the things he didn't like in 2021 was he didn't think the Huskers had enough offensive players running down on kick coverage and helping overall. Now, that seems like something he could control, right?
Yeah, you sure could. That's something that's not difficult to implement or make happen for your team.
Mm-hmm. This is now. I just want to stop and say this too. I appreciate that Scott does this. That he takes an hour to explain a lot of the things that we have questions about. Right? He took an hour.
Did he
It's
do
possible
it?
it's required.
Did he do what's required? There's no way he just did this out of his goodwill. This is required.
Okay.
Did he give enough information that people can be satisfied?
I think. I mean, I don't know that there's anything missing. Now, no, we haven't talked about what he said about the D line. He said it's no secret our numbers are way down on the D line. He said, I really like what we have, and I love some of the young guys, and we're returning a couple of veterans. That's probably an area where we'll be looking for a little help, and if we can find it, great. If we don't, we like what we have. And I now listen, it's interesting. The numbers, we always talk about the numbers being down in the interior line, which they are, scholarship numbers, personnel in general, just not enough bodies, right? Also, Frosty noted that they only have 4 scholarship edge players. Garrett Nelson, Caleb Tanner, Blaze Gunnerson, Jamari Butler. They usually have 7. I mean, if I were to follow up with Frost, that one of the questions I'd ask him. Now, okay, we can do this. Follow up from last night. One thing I definitely ask is why are your numbers down in the interior and your edge rushers? Why do you only have 4 edge rushers on scholarship?
We know what's interesting is that he mentions that the new guys on offense help recruiting out, but this is defensive we're talking about. You got your guys back. Tuiyoti's obviously gone to Oregon,
right?
But you still have the rest of your guys back defensively. And if you have if you've got a shortcoming there at edge and also defensive line, then I mean that's your side of the ball that has the most returning coaches.
Yeah, I don't quite understand it. Now on the bright side, when you talk about these guys, okay, bright side, it may turn out to be okay up front. And here's why. Can you stay with me?
Right now, like the way it is, or with guys coming in?
If they would get Devin Drew.
Okay, from Texas Tech.
Right. And Jake, I don't mind saying on the air, we're on the air, right?
We are on the air.
Yeah, we're talking to other people too. I don't mind saying this on the air. I think they're going to get Devin Drew. I'm not going to say I will be surprised if they don't, but it's trending in the right direction. That Devin Drew, they have a great shot of landing his.
Does he have other suitors right now? That's what I would ask.
I'm sure he does. But Devin, because he's 6'2" and 290, and he's played every 25 games at Texas Tech and had 34 tackles. I would imagine he'd have some suitors. So yeah,
I hope so.
I think now. Why would you think he doesn't?
Oh,
Your skepticism sometimes is a little.
I brought it back.
ridiculous.
I brought back the cynicism there. I just haven't heard. I've looked at Devin Drew. I haven't heard a ton yet regarding interest from him from other teams.
You have no earthly idea whether there's
I
interest
don't
or not.
Not every offer. Not everything's. Not all the offers are out there all the time.
Right. Anyway, okay. So stay with me. And if O'Shawn Mathis, I'm saying 50-50 shot. O'Shawn Mathis. Okay. Now that's O'Shawn Mathis is 6'6", 260. Blaise Gunnerson is 6'6", 265. All right. I think they've bulked up Garrett Nelson. I think you can make it work with these bodies. And again, you need 300-pounders up front, but they do have a few of those guys. They are short of depth. But if you're playing a 4-3, which they were playing predominantly 4-3 last year, you just need 2. You don't need 3. 3 down linemen in a 3-4, 2 down linemen in a 4-3. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting your edge guys down in a 4-3, but they're still edge guys. So I don't know. Maybe you're just going to have to be a little creative, but it doesn't seem as code red to me because of Gunnerson's kind of rise and size, and
got to stay healthy.
Yeah, true.
Hasn't happened yet.
And the fact that I think they're in good position with Devin Drew. So there you go.
All right, let's get a call from Vince in Napa, California at 402-464-5685. Vince, you're on early break. Go ahead, man.
Hey, good morning, fellas. How are you?
I'd say fine. It's nice to hear from you.
Thank you. Always nice to talk to you guys. But as far as the defensive line depth, I see it like this. Okay. To me, regardless of how you feel about the guys we have coming back, I think ideally you want to get Mathis and Drew, because I think some of the best defensive lines at every level of football, they have one thing in common. They have a consistent 7 or 8 man rotation, because when you keep rotating fresh legs, because offensive lines don't really rotate fresh legs in, whereas defensive line guys do. So as a result, when you rotate those guys in, it ends up wearing that offensive line down, especially if we're talking about the pass rush, and also just saving your starters from getting beat up in the run game. And but the special teams quote was what absolutely floored me. It's like we didn't have enough offensive guys running down kicks, and it's like, well, that kind of should have been figured out a lot earlier. But what you guys are talking about as far as offense is concerned, I go back to 2003 and I go back to 2008. If you think about it, in 2003, when Bo brought, who was the court? Was it Barney Cotton, or was Frank still the coordinator?
No. Yeah.
In 2003.
Frank had surrendered those. Mm-hmm. No, Frank had surrendered the play calling duties to Barney.
Got it. Okay. Well, anyhow, I remember the offense back then. It was, there was concepts of, marrying an old offense with something new you were bringing in conceptually. And when Sean Watson came in and then when Sean Watson was kept by Bo, Watson, I remember conceptually kind of implemented elements of the spread in the run game, but in the pass game kind of kept some of the same concepts as what Bill Callahan had. So, again, to your point, it's just all a question of, how different is it? If it's, somewhat different, I think you can make it work. But if it's drastically different, then you're looking at a learning curve. But what I take out of Raiola, the quote regarding Raiola in terms of, aggressive techniques, I look at it more as, and I go back to a few tweets that I think it was Rob Zadiska that put out on more than a few occasions last year. He'd talk about how the linemen would have good technique, they would follow through on their assignment, mm-hmm. but they wouldn't finish their block.
Finish.
And that's the biggest thing that I take out of it. Okay. I don't look at it necessarily as just strictly fire off the ball, going all over the place, but it's a matter of finishing your blocks. And that's where I'm going to recycle an old Lorenzo Neal quote that I gave you guys last week.
Uh-oh. Okay, Lorenzo Neal. Who's Lorenzo Neal, by the way?
16-year NFL fullback, probably one of the best. Well, at least one of the best modern fullbacks in the NFL. He was a great blocker for 4 different teams.
Okay.
And so anyhow, Lorenzo has this quote of, that's where you get, well, when you get off the ball, that's where you have the mentality of, if we can't get along, we might as well get it on.
There it is.
So he liked your bloody knuckles concept, right?
Yeah, and when you finish those blocks, you finish them with bloody knuckles.
Thank you, Vince. Appreciate it. There goes Vince again. Bloody knuckles. All sorts of energy. It's 4:30 out there. I mean, it is 4:30 in California, and Vince is just fired up.
That was so
I hope you all can attack your day in your lives like Vince attacks his at 4:30 in the morning in California.
It's 4:30.
It's 4:30 out there. He's just yelling into the phone.
He's talking about Lorenzo Neal.
Fired off the ball. Bloody knuckles.
If we're not going to get along, we might as well get it on.
I wish I had energy at 4:30.
You have fine. Your energy.
And not at 4:30.
Oh, you don't?
No, I'm asleep at 4:30.
You're sleeping.
Yeah. All right. Here we need a little bit of
Brevity?
No.
What?
We need some water in this conversation. Some cold water
What's going on?
from Wet Blanket.
Oh,
here.
hello, Wet
Oh,
Blanket.
yeah. Wet Blanket's here on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers text
I
line.
didn't think we were being overly optimistic.
464-5685. He says, here is some historical context for this conversation. It took a total overhaul of Osborne's defensive recruiting and philosophy to move the program from 9-3 to a national championship. Nebraska is currently a 3-9 team who's lost 6 multi-year starters on defense, a 4-year starting quarterback, and a top 3-round NFL offensive lineman from last season. Does this look like a program that's a tweak away to you? Can you ever name a 3-9 team that got worse on the defensive line and became a better team? This is absolutely code red.
Interesting.
Blanket.
Wet Blanket. It's not a bad point he makes. And it is. It's sort of interesting when you go back to what we were saying at the outset about it raised my eyebrows that he said, we don't need drastic changes. We just need tweaks. Now, I read it. Where I was coming from is that I thought they did make drastic changes. So now it's going to get really convoluted if we're not careful here.
Does the tweaks just come now in terms of like what's coming, what's next for Nebraska? You don't need drastic changes the rest of the offseason.
They made drastic changes already, and now it's just
I
tweaks.
suppose the hires were the drastic changes, and now.
No.
But like I said earlier,
that's not what he's talking about.
Are they running that different of a system than what they were previously?
See,
that's
now,
what I asked there.
That now we're in this sort of territory that well, first of all, we haven't seen it because what we saw during the spring game wasn't representative of what it'll be. Me and you are not on the same page on this. I regard the marrying of Frost system with Whipple's system as a drastic change. That's my take.
That's what, and I'm not sold on that.
Well, you're marrying like a West Coast system with a spread, which you can do.
You can do that.
Yeah,
and
people do it all the time.
Absolutely, it's not that bad.
All right.
I view that as somewhat of a tweak.
Okay.
So I guess I'm on board with that quote.
I'm on board more with the line of thinking that Wet Blanket has thrown out there. That I appreciate him thinking at that level in that context. Isn't this a program that does need drastic change? 3-9, 15-29.
Yeah. Well,
Osborne made changes not at 15-29. He made changes when he was never lost fewer than 9. Drastic change. Or never lost. Yeah, never lost fewer than 3. Always won 9. Always won 9. Always won 9. That's what I meant. Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yes.
So Wet Blanket makes a good point there.
If anybody wants to, I guess, argue in favor of that being acceptable, I mean, you could just say, well, last year all the losses were very close.
They were close.
You did not get beat by 35 points against teams every.
Right.
Michigan, the playoff team, you should have beaten Lincoln.
That
Ohio
makes sense.
State in Lincoln, you nearly beat Ohio State. Very good team.
Yeah.
So in theory, you were close
Yes.
against the best of the best in the conference.
In reality, you were close.
You were.
Not just in theory. In reality.
Both. Reality and in theory, you were close.
Right. You're being strangely reasonable.
Isn't this weird?
Yes.
I'm not comfortable with it.
I know. I'm
Usually I'm the one that's
I like
here throwing gasoline on the fire over here.
No, you're being reasonable here. Now, I like it. I like the discussion, though. I like what Wet Blanket tossed out there. I don't know that I agree that it's code red. It's April. But I see where he's coming from.
We'll see where
he's concerned.
Let's see in a month from now, May 26th, where we're at with the defensive line and additions there. And then we'll see if we're code red still or not.
It's fun to talk about this stuff. Frost, by the way, says he's rewatched every game from last season 50 times. I would counsel against doing that.
It's not healthy. It's too much losing, too many close losses. It's not healthy.
He said the current one more thing. I know we're going really long, but I like it when we do that. Okay, then when we come back, we'll discuss what Frost said about the current developments in name, image, likeness, and how he feels about it. We can do that.
Fine. That's next. An early break on the ticket.
Nutrien Ag Solutions, Ashland facility, now hiring for spring. Keith and the crew remind that most will have to have blood available at some point to survive, but our blood supply is extremely low. Please consider donating a unit of blood. Next Tuesday, there's a drive at Ashland Greenwood High School from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. Monday, May 16th, go to Water's Edge, Gretna. And don't forget, for great job opportunities, contact Nutrien Ag Solutions in Ashland. Join the Nutrien Ag Solutions team. Call 402-944-2436.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at Wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
Husker fans, continue to support the Nebraska softball team during Fan Appreciation Weekend, May 6th through the 8th. The team hosts Indiana in a 3-game series with giveaways each day. On Friday, the first 500 fans receive a water bottle. Come out Saturday and be one of the first 500 fans to receive a blanket. And on Sunday, if you're one of the first 500 fans, you'll get a pint glass. Saturday's game is also Senior Day and is free admission for everyone. For more information, visit Huskers.com. Get your single game tickets now at Huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we will get to something I think is fascinating with the NFL draft here in a second.
I hijacked your segment. I love this.
Well, don't worry, we're going to get to it still.
It's causing
it's
causing friction in the studio. Okay,
There's no
quick.
friction in the studio. Everything is capiche here.
Okay,
Frost on NIL.
Yeah. Just one more thing on Frost before we get to Aiden. What's his last name?
Hutchinson.
Okay. Current
That's his last name.
Frost said the current developments in name, image, and likeness represent the tip. This is quote, tip of the iceberg. Quote, it seems to get more and more extreme. This next part, I want you to ponder this.
Okay.
Before we get to Aiden
Hutchinson.
It seems to get more and more extreme, Frost said. This is the next part is what really caught my eye. It's going to change college football as we used to know it. And I don't think anybody's sure where the ball is going to stop rolling. He says it's going to be tumultuous.
But don't we all agree with that, though?
Yes.
That's what you and I say every day about NIL.
That sound like he's on
every
board?
Every day there's somebody new in the portal, or there's somebody else that needs more NIL money to come here to stay here. I mean, yeah, it's tumultuous. Of
Okay,
course
now
it
the
is.
part of it that obviously bothers the old man is it's going to change college football as we used to know it. This now
you said that, haven't you?
Yes. Now this is where Corey and guys are going to really take me on and say, just get over it, old man, right? That's what it is. But what I say to that is, didn't we like college football? I mean,
Well, I thought we did. I thought we did.
yeah. And I got to say, here we go, old man shaking fist at clouds. I loved college football in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Loved it. Like it was the coolest sport there was. No way I'm saying that now. You're trending third or fourth or fifth on the list. I'll take the NBA ahead of it. I'm starting to take the NFL over it.
Smart. NFL's best.
Yeah. Frost said it's going to change college football as we used to know it. That is the root of the problem for me. I liked college football. It's changed. Okay. Of course I don't like it as well now. It is weird now.
You want to hear a take against that real
Yeah,
quick? This
yeah.
is from Michael in Carolina.
Okay. I appreciate this, Mike.
He says, the forward pass changed football.
Right.
Conference realignment changed football. We'll still love it. It'll be okay.
Okay. All right. That
You just
yeah.
talk
All
you
right.
off the ledge, sir.
Yeah, let's get off the ledge and get to the NFL.
Yes, I think this, and maybe this happens more often than I think it does. But so the NFL draft day, the round one is on Thursday, April 28th. My birthday coming up this week.
Oh, April
Shout out.
28th.
That's right, 2 days away. Jacksonville has the first pick, and as of yesterday, Sip, the odds of who's going to be number one changed in terms of who might that pick be. For a long time, it's been Aiden Hutchinson of Michigan as the likely number one overall pick, at least for a month, maybe 2 months in terms of that conversation. As of the weekend and even into yesterday, that now has changed
to
Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker from Georgia is now the favorite. He's also a pass rusher from Georgia in this conversation. As of a month ago, he was not even close to being in the anywhere near being a top 5 pick, let alone a top 10 pick in the draft. He had a good combine. And then I guess Trent Baalke, the Jags GM, really likes him, but the owner, Shad Khan, wants to draft Aiden Hutchinson. So we'll see who wins that battle. Usually the owner wins that battle. But again, the odds have changed for Trayvon Walker. But also there's conversation that Alabama left tackle Evan Neal could be the guy, or NC State O-lineman Ikem Ekwonu might be the guy. I mean, there is reasonable belief that any 4 of those players could go number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Any one of those 4 could go number 1.
What about Ahmad Gardner?
No, Sauce Gardner is not in the conversation for the first overall pick. He might be a top 5 pick. Absolutely.
What about Kayvon Thibodeau?
Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon is not seen as a number 1 overall pick unless he's a trade up.
Thibodeau. Okay. Thibodeau. So you're saying that Kyle Hamilton?
No, these are top 10 picks. They're not going to be number 1. I mean, there is seriously 4 guys that might go number 1 though, and I don't know a time where I think there's been that much doubt about who's going first overall. Like it's not a no brainer. Like you don't have a Trevor Lawrence this year.
Yeah,
that's
going
number
quarterback.
1. Yeah, you don't have a Trevor Lawrence. You don't have a guy that's an obvious pick that's going number 1 overall. Like none of these guys seem to me like, you got to draft him first. Like the obvious answer this year for this draft is to trade down, but nobody wants to trade up because the top of the draft is not that good. It's not elite.
Hutchinson, it raised your eyebrows against when Michigan played Georgia in the Final Four, and he was rendered sort of quiet.
Looked like a little boy out there.
He did not look like a little boy, but
compared to Georgia's O lineman, he did.
No,
and that's NFL lineman.
No, he didn't look like a little boy, but he was not. He was ineffective.
Little boy.
He was ineffective. And yeah, no, it's interesting. I know this from watching that game. It gave me pause about his NFL draft stock. It did. But here I'm reading right now. It's the 2022 NFL Draft Final Prospect Rankings, and Hutchinson is number 1 overall according to CBS Sports.
But again, I don't think he's a slam dunk. Though.
No, I don't either.
That's why this draft is viewed as weak in general. Like
at the top.
Yeah,
no quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
the number 1 quarterback in these ratings from CBS Sports is quiz time for.
Is it Malik Willis?
Yes.
Is it? Then you have
Malik Willis of Liberty.
Kenny Pickett might be a first round pick late, possibly.
The ranking here, 23. Malik Willis of Liberty, 23
for a quarterback.
Pickett is 30. Pickett is 30.
When you don't have elite quarterbacks in the draft, it always makes the draft take a hit in terms of how good it is. And I again, there's a good amount of offensive linemen. Like this is a good tackles draft with Ekwonu from NC State, Evan Neal at Alabama, and other guys in that conversation. But when he's a center, yeah.
That's not offensive line.
I mentioned the tackles there with Evan Neal and Ekwonu.
Okay.
But anytime it just feels weird and kind of I don't know empty a little bit when you don't have number 1.
Who are you looking at?
There's 2 things. Number 1, when you don't have a for sure top pick, like Hutchinson is not a for sure top pick. He is a guy that might go number 1, but it's not like you had to take him. That's a can't miss prospect. Like Trevor Lawrence will get there. It wasn't good he was okay last year, but he will get there.
I think so.
He was a for sure number 1.
Yeah, he was.
This year, I mean, any of these guys could be good. They could all be average. And you don't have when you don't have a quarterback that's going to be a top 10 pick or should be a top 10 pick, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like it's a weak draft. Maybe that's a wrong way to look at it.
I don't know.
But quarterback is such a premier position, obviously, in football. You got to have a great one now to do anything in the NFL. And this year just doesn't have anybody that's really stands out. Malik Willis is somebody that I'm intrigued by. I think I'm curious about Kenny Pickett, but are those guys going to be the ones that carry the torch for the franchise? I don't know.
No, it's a good question. It's a good question. Number one picks of recent vintage. Kyler Murray was a number one pick,
right? That was very good.
Joe Burrow was a number
extremely
one
good,
pick. Right?
Stop there though. There was Burrow. There was no question going into that draft. He was for sure number one. Obviously, Kyler Murray was there was a while in the months before that they thought other guys, but then by a few weeks before the draft, it seemed very clear that Kyler Murray was going to be the guy for the Cardinals. There wasn't any sort of question, and he was very good.
You want to do this fun exercise? Number one picks, the clear cut number one, and that worked out, Eli Manning. Right?
Peyton Manning.
No, Eli. The first overall pick in 2004 was Eli Manning. The first overall pick
is number one.
Mm-hmm. The first overall pick in the 2004 draft. Manning retired after the 2019 season. Yeah, I'm reading CBS Sportsline right now.
Okay.
They say Eli. Maybe they're wrong.
I think they're wrong on that. I think he was number one.
Yeah, they have a photo of him and everything.
Because wasn't he drafted by the Chargers and wanted to trade to
Jake?
to
This is not Sipple knowledge. This is
all
reading.
Right, let's look it up.
This is reading off of CBSSports.com. Is this confusing you?
Nope.
2004 draft.
It was. But I'm right though. He was drafted by the Chargers. He got a trade to the Giants. That's why he was drafted first by the Chargers and did not want to play in San Diego, and forced a trade to the Giants off the bat.
He was the number one overall though.
That's right. But that's why I get confused though.
210 consecutive starts. I appreciate your radar going off, but you in this case were wrong.
Look, it per Wikipedia, which is always reliable. The Chargers drafted Manning first overall, but due to his refusal to play for the Chargers, Manning was later traded to the Giants for their first selection, Phillip Rivers, and another pick.
But he worked out, Eli Manning.
He did.
Cam Newton was a first overall pick.
He worked out. He's had a rough end to his career, but he made a Super Bowl.
Matthew Stafford was a number one overall pick.
Worked out. And again, those were obvious picks. So those in the cases of Stafford and Newton, those were the guys going number one the whole time.
Carson Palmer was a number one overall pick.
Now we're going back to, I'm not sure if there was conversation there at all in terms of who else was in that. But I remember him being a no doubt top guy also.
Andrew Luck was a number one overall pick.
Yeah, not much conversation. Robert Griffin III was in the conversation, but everyone thought Luck was going to be the guy.
Michael Vick.
Enough said. No one's obvious number one pick.
Alex Smith was the number one overall pick.
That one I don't remember if that was as cut and dry.
Mario Williams, the defensive end, was a number one overall
There was
pick.
discussion that Reggie Bush might be in that draft at number one, but he went number two to the Saints.
Myles Garrett was a number one overall pick.
It's pretty clear cut there when he was drafted by the Browns.
Here's a good one. You'll like this one. Jared Goff was a number one overall.
Yeah, I mean, that was Carson Wentz's year he went to. Both those guys have dropped off quite a bit.
The Michigan All-American Jake Long was a number one overall pick by Miami.
Yes,
right?
he was a Pro Bowler for at least one or
made
2
an
years.
immediate impact.
He was. But he had injury problems. But they chose him over Matt Ryan though, and that was a poor decision.
Offensive tackle Eric Fisher was a number one overall pick.
Was a bust for a couple years, and he ended up being pretty decent. So that's one that was, I don't think cut and dry. He was number one overall.
Here's one for you, cut and dried. Wasn't Jadeveon Clowney?
Yes.
Cut and dried?
For sure. No, yeah, there's no doubt there.
No doubter at number one, still playing at a high level.
Yeah, okay level. Still playing.
Jameis Winston, number one overall.
But there was not much conversation. That was the guy.
Yeah, it's making your point. Sam Bradford was number one overall. I don't know if there's conversation there.
I get the point, though.
Yeah, this is fun. I like doing this. David Carr, number one.
It seemed pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
They were going with David Carr.
Yeah.
I don't know who they're drafting on Thursday. Usually by now, especially with Twitter and everything being ahead of time, you know who's going to be taken. There are 4 potential guys if the Jaguars keep the pick that could go number one.
Just 4.
I think just 4. Okay. Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, Evan Neal, Ikem Ekwonu. Song of the day is next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Bagels & Joe is ready for the spring with pesto cream cheese, great on any bagel. Try a mint and peach Arnold Palmer while you're there, and don't forget their locally roasted coffee, delicious breakfast burritos, and bagel boxes for the office. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Brats, check. Chips, check. Tickets. I love tailgating, but this year I actually wanted to be in the stadium. Season tickets just weren't in my budget. Then I found a way. A research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and bought those season tickets. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Tune in every Monday morning throughout the summer at 6:45 a.m. for golf course reviews on the Nebraska Golf Passport Early Break Golf Tour with Jake Sorensen and Steve Sipple on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Breezy but warmer conditions on the way for our Tuesday, topping out near 72. South winds could gust over 25 to 30 miles per hour. Heading into tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low down to 50. Even warmer tomorrow with an afternoon high of around 80. And once again, south winds gusting to near 30. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one. So make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606. or learn more at highelectric.com.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're a big tough? If you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
he stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I cannot take this anymore. Saying everything I said before. All these words, they make no sense. I find bliss in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say. You'll find that out anyway. Just like before. Everything you say to me. Just one step closer to the edge. And I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe. 'Cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I find the
dreams aren't so clear.
Song of the day, One Step Closer by Linkin Park from 2000. 464-5685. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Everything you say to me says me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe. 'Cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. Everything you say to me says me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe. 'Cause I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to
If you weren't awake, now you are. That's, again, Song of the Day. One Step Closer by Linkin Park from 2000. 464-5685. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
I think there's a chance that was the #1 song in America for that year.
You think so?
I think so.
It
Now,
wasn't even the biggest song of the album.
Okay, what was?
Numb.
How's that go?
I've become so numb.
Okay,
I can't hear you
Here's
say.
why I raise that. You have little things that you strangely remember in your life that didn't really have any meaning, but you still remember. I was driving down Sunset Boulevard in LA, and they were doing a countdown of the best songs of that year. It would have been 01, I guess.
Of the previous year?
Maybe the
It was
previous
released
year.
in 2000.
Okay. But Linkin Park had the #1 song. And for some reason, I remember driving a little bit more, and because I wanted to hear what song was #1 in my rental car.
You did. You stuck in there for a little bit longer.
Yeah. What would Linkin Park have had the #1 song in America?
Oh, I'm sure they would have it
in 01.
I'm trying to think what the album was.
Anyway,
Hybrid, because that was Hybrid Theory.
Okay,
Let's look at the
they were
songs. here.
huge. Yeah, they were huge.
Okay, so the songs in that album that would have been contending for #1 with One Step Closer.
Okay.
Crawling. We love
I think it was Crawling.
We love Crawling. This show loves Crawling.
Yeah.
In the end, it might have been up there.
Could have been
in the end. It doesn't really
you're right.
matter.
Yeah, it could have been one of those. You're right.
That album did not have Numb on it, so I'm wrong about that. But it had the big ones were One Step Closer, Crawling, In the End. Those are the big ones.
And today's song was
One Step Closer.
Okay, and that's a good song. Curious why you took it.
I'm
why
one
you
step
played
closer
it.
to the edge,
Yeah.
and I'm about to break.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know.
It's a good song. Linkin Park now lead singer no longer
Yeah.
with us.
Passed away a few years ago.
I'm gonna talk about Linkin Park in the present.
Okay,
that's a great band. I mean, it is. It's not my favorite kind of music at all, but I recognize quality, and some of those songs were you just can't deny their greatness. And the one you played today, you cannot deny its greatness. So it's a 9.0.
That was probably the longest time it took to get a rating ever.
Oh, I'm sure I've rambled more than that. 9.0. Okay, we have an EP that looks like Bob Saget.
We've had a young Alec Baldwin,
Yes.
a young Tom Petty, and now a young Bob Saget.
I think it helps our listeners to describe him that way, so they have a mental image.
Just think of Gus as a young Bob Saget.
And Gus is formidable in terms of height. I would say
Yeah.
6'2".
Yeah, about right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
6'3".
6'3". He said, "Oh yeah, give
Saget
him
was
the extra."
Saget was
Probably about 6'2" or 6'3", right? Tall.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to guess Gus's score here.
He's just sticking to the grease board.
Going grease board today.
Okay.
Okay. You said 9 for you.
Yeah.
Gus is going to be 8.2. 8.2.
I
think he's into that.
I think Gus was really taken by that song, and he seems to really like. By the way, Bob Saget's 6'4".
Wow. Okay, so we're right. Yeah. See, young Bob Saget, Gus.
Yeah. Look at the pictures I'm going to show you on the break pictures of Bob Saget, and it is startling how much they look alike.
Okay, we'll show Gus then too.
Okay, he gave it a 9.
4. I've already forgotten what it sounded like. He said.
No, hold on.
Short-term memory problems here,
Stay
Gus.
on the crease board. Why do you have such an issue with that song? We should have him on the mic.
But just give grease board.
Grease board's fine. Oh, we wanted to jump to that mic. You're very smart. 2 sentences. Why would you give that only a 4.0? It's a hit.
I can't think of reasons. Look at him. He just doesn't know.
That's okay. It's not his cup of tea.
It's a good song. That's what it is. Some ratings before I get to
what?
I want to mention something real quick. Rod, 5, 7.7 from Craig. John, a 9.2. Leroy, 6.5. Harper, 10. Harper's dad, a 9. 6.5 from Matt Hop. 10 from Breezy. 8.2 from Curtis. 10 from a no-name. Eric says, yeah, Eric. Ready for this one? Eric, to get that Eric. Oh, bleep you, Jake. I still remember the first time I heard this song or watched the video, 9.3. That's high for Eric.
Oh, bleep you, Jake.
Yeah. Jennifer, 4. Hubby, 2. He says yuck to that one.
Jennifer gave it a 4?
And her husband gave it a 2.
Okay. Jennifer, that's the lowest score she's ever
typically
given.
around a 7
Yeah.
or so. Skittles, an 8. Sean, 4.1. He says 1 step closer to a bad week of songs.
At least he didn't say a bad week of shows.
Yeah, songs is fun. Matthew and Hickman, 9. Tyler, 10. Says R.I.P. Chester. Joe and Boulder says
Chester.
Mom says if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. So I'm saying nothing.
Okay.
He didn't like the song. He's 61 years old, though.
Yeah, that's a little out of his
Tim, 8.2. Jane in South Lincoln says worst ever, -10. -10.
Pretty negative.
No, that's me.
I
Just
know,
give
but
me
the
a
song
negative.
is pretty
Simba
negative.
gave it a 10. Solid 9 from Doug and Lincoln. Kent says that is simply not music. It's noise. The tee shot went in the water, Jake. 0.05. I duffed it in the box.
The song does elicit strong reactions.
Jay and Lincoln says it's a 4. All right. Thank you for all the ratings there. Before we get to break, I saw this. The NFL SIP wants to potentially play a Black Friday game this year. Now, they already have 3 games on Thanksgiving. And Black Friday will have this year the World Cup, also the traditional college football games, Nebraska, Iowa, and other games that are played that day. Are you in favor of the NFL going to Black Friday for a game, or do you care?
I do care. I am more frugal when it comes to these matters than
Frugal.
most people. Yeah, I don't think that. I do think. Yeah, frugal. I think frugality makes sense in these sort of TV matters. I lean toward less is better. That's not the way TV has gone. The TV sports has gone. College football has gone the way of, my God, on off weeks. I'm bowled over at 11 a.m. I can turn on my TV and there's 7 games on across all channels, right? Pretty much, right? 5, 6 in that range.
Yes.
And that's at 11. And then so it continues all day long where there's just an incredible assortment. I would like to see the NFL not go this direction. I guess that's my true feeling. Doesn't strike me as necessary.
They want to take more days of the week.
Oh, of course. Yes. More.
The problem I have with it is that, Thursday nights, you usually have 1 game. Now, you've already got 3 on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Do you need to water down that Sunday even more?
Water down.
Because, yeah, you
That's
water
a good,
down. Because
that's a good term. Water down.
Sundays are NFL day. That is my NFL day.
That's what I would think. Hopefully they've studied this. I don't know.
Because then you have Monday night too. Then you have
right.
You have 3 that week. You have 3 Thursday, 1 Friday, 1 Monday, and then a few games on Sunday instead of a whole slate.
That's what I'm talking about. I hate to be that guy that's always like, no, but water down is the key operative phrase in this conversation. Water down. It seems like this is watering it down more.
Like I think I'll be disappointed if the Dolphins are playing Black Friday. I think I'll be disappointed. That's my Nebraska Iowa day. That's my recovery day from Thanksgiving. Nebraska Iowa. I don't want to have to worry about my NFL team that day.
Old man take.
Yeah, well, I am an old man.
No, my old man take is just Sunday and Monday. Just NFL on Sunday and Monday.
And I'm fine. I like that. I'm fine with the way it used to be. Yeah, load up the Sundays in one Monday game.
Sunday and Monday.
Monday's already got Joe Buck now back on it. We better make that a bigger deal.
And
don't water down Monday Night Football, Joe and Troy.
Right.
Top of the hour next, an early break in the ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Breezy but warmer conditions on the way for our Tuesday, topping out near 72. South winds could gust over 25 to 30 miles per hour. Heading into tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low down to 50. Even warmer tomorrow with an afternoon high of around 80. And once again, south winds gusting to near 30. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Adversity introduces a man or a woman to themselves. It's easy to say, oh, have a great day when things are good. But when life happens, as we all know, adversity hits, that's when we find out who we are. It's okay to be not okay.
Sometimes we can't see the help that's there because of whatever issue.
There's athletes that are talking about mental health and just well-being and burnout right now, because in the past 2 years, if COVID has showed us anything, it showed us the importance for connection.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
An Empire Fence is an investment in your home. This year, use your tax return to make that investment. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and security while improving the appearance of your home. Visit empire-fence.com to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home. With your tax return on the way, schedule your project now. Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence.
Bagels and Joe is ready for the spring with pesto cream cheese, great on any bagel. Try a mint and peach Arnold Palmer while you're there, and don't forget their locally roasted coffee, delicious breakfast burritos, and bagel boxes for the office. Bagels and Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Hello, I'm Charlie Stone, back with the latest news from Honda of Lincoln. Joining me now is the general manager, Andy Goodyear. Hey, Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Charlie.
Hey, Andy, with spring right around the corner, how is your supply of new Hondas and pre-owned vehicles?
Really good, Charlie. As I've said before, when you drive by our lot, you don't see what you're looking for, just remember we have hundreds of new Hondas arriving soon, with Honda continuing to offer 0.9% APR financing to qualified buyers. Plus, we have over 125 pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
That's great, Andy. Any more great news?
There is, Charlie. Honda just announced financing from 0.99% APR on certified pre-owned Hondas for qualified buyers.
So come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Husker fans, your Nebraska softball team is competing for the 2022 Big Ten regular season title. There are 3 more chances to support your Huskers at home during Fan Appreciation Weekend, May 6th through the 8th. The team hosts Indiana in a 3-game series with giveaways each day. For more information on promotions, visit Huskers.com. Get your single-game tickets now at Huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Tuesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Fun show so far. You get the podcast at theticketfm.com. The show is sponsored, as always, by Gaina Trucking. There was a couple things yesterday I saw that surprised or amazed me. And when that happens, Sip, I got to bring him up on the show.
Yeah,
you know that I don't get amazed or surprised very often. First thing is something with baseball, and then a non-sports thing. How about that for a tease?
I like it. Oh, I know where you're going.
Yeah, well,
I know where you're
okay,
going.
that's number 2. Number 1. Okay, I saw last night, Sip.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm typing, but I'm listening.
Last night, the LA Angels were playing the Cleveland Guardians in Los Angeles. And Mike Trout, who is, again, probably the best overall player in baseball, had 2 check swings that one resulted in a triple. The other resulted in a home run out of the ballpark. I just saw. I'm gonna say I saw the video of the home run this morning. I said, "Wow!" I mean, Mike Trout is very strong. He's fast. He's the ultimate player. There's a pitch on the outside corner. He stops the swing. He check swings and he hits a home run to right field. I don't know. I thought it was edited. It was real. I went back. Incredible. It was true. He check swing to the opposite field. He went oppo shot out of the ballpark, home run on a check swing.
Don't you have to check his bat at that point?
That wasn't it, though. That wasn't it. I just saw a video now that was also last night. He had another check swing, same thing, outside that went. It went past the first baseman, and he's so fast he got a triple out of it. This was just in the ballpark. It bounced around some more. Okay. On 2 different check swings. Mike Trout last night hit a home run out of the ballpark on a swing he cut short.
If I'm the home plate ump, I'm saying, give me that bat.
And a triple on another check swing that just barely went past the first base.
I like the way you characterized what the ball did. It bounced around somewhere.
Well, I mean, he just got past the first baseman. And then but he's so fast, though.
Yeah.
Gus would like to chime in.
Gus, chime in.
Jake, I'm sorry to break it to you, but that home run video was not real.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just saw it.
So that's the one I was talking about, was the triple.
Yeah, there was a check swing triple, but I just looked up like check swing home run, and he checks it. It goes into right field.
That's the edit then.
It's not real.
All right, I saw the triple thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gus. We needed that.
Hey, Gus. Thank you for that.
Because here's the deal. I thought I was getting duped when I saw it right away.
Hey, Gus, your instinct to get on that mic is very good, because I was about to go on a 5-minute.
Right.
I can't believe this is happening.
I was, again, because my first initial take was this cannot be real. But it appeared to be the broadcast I saw made it sound real, and then I saw this triple now.
You were duped.
I was duped, but the triple was real.
Triple was real, yeah.
He check swing the triple. So thank you for correcting my.
Thanks for the save.
But I tell you what, though,
the triple's real.
If it was a check swing home run, that would be incredible.
Has anybody ever hit a check swing home run?
I don't know.
I think it's impossible. I don't think you can get the ball out of the park.
All right, so I got duped. I got duped on one part. Not, but the second one was real, though. Yeah. The triple was real.
The ball bounced around somewhere.
He check swing it got past the first baseman. It went to the foul ball territory and bounced around in the field of play. And Mike Trout got to third base. I can get duped sometimes. You got duped about Tim Tebow the other day, and
I did.
People wearing his jersey. Yes, I think you got duped. Listen, we are not perfect on the show by any means.
And the world is weird.
That's why
right?
Gus is here to help us out.
Yeah, and the world is weird, right? Things are presented to you, and you have to have a degree of skepticism on almost everything, right?
Yes.
On almost everything.
So there's my number one thing, that even though I thought it was a home run, the triple still was incredible. That still amazed me. Number two, Twitter was purchased by Elon Musk for this price, 44, not billion, 44 billion with a big old capital B. $44 billion is what Elon Musk bought out Twitter for yesterday. I just can't imagine even having that kind of money. $1 billion is a ton of money. $1 million is a ton of money. $44 billion to buy that massive platform. Like, it's not a big deal to Elon Musk. Here's $44 billion. I got it right here, sit inside.
It's amazing.
It's incredible. I think like anything that's like $5,000 is a pretty significant purchase, right? Yeah, think about it. You got to think about it here.
Well, there's one question that arises.
Okay.
Nothing better to do with $44 billion than to buy Twitter. I mean, is free speech is important.
So that's what he wants.
Yes,
free speech.
right.
Is what he wants.
And that is it. That is it's nice from that standpoint. Trump has said he's not getting back on Twitter.
We'll see about that.
He has his own social media platform. I don't know what that is, and I don't think it's,
I don't know either.
I don't think it's doing particularly well.
I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back.
But yeah, free speech, the ability to talk honestly about your leaders. I mean, that's, you have that sort of conversation. That's the sort of conversation that makes democracy possible, right? It's important. And that's probably where Elon Musk is coming from. It sounds strange, like revolution, like I'm talking like some revolutionary. It should just be the way it is. Not as much anymore, right? Not quite as much anymore.
No, right.
But this Elon Musk, I go back to nothing better to do with $44 billion than to buy Twitter.
Now, as people are telling us, now he did not pay it completely all with his own cash. He's getting some funding from two different groups to get this paid. But still, the fact that he could just work up that money, $44 billion. I'll take $1 billion. You want to fork me over $1 billion, Elon?
I
want to help the ticket out.
I mean, did a lot of people go to Twitter and say thank you, Elon? It was a lot.
Well, of course, there's going to be split because there's different views on Elon Musk buying Twitter. Some really like it, some really hate it, as are most things in life.
$44 billion.
Yes,
it would be to have that sort of money. Money at that point to you is like air, literally. It's just nothing, right? It's like air. You have air.
I think about like Patrick Mahomes, for example, gets that massive deal from the Chiefs. It's $500 million over the duration of the contract. A ton of money. We're talking about that as pocket change to $44 billion.
Yeah, pocket change.
Elon Musk, this deal to buy Twitter made Patrick Mahomes, who's a multi-millionaire with this deal with the Chiefs, looks like a little peasant out there.
A peasant.
He's a peasant.
He's a mere peasant.
I think that's incredible.
We are all mere peasants compared to Elon Musk.
$44 billion.
All right.
I just want to get that out there. Thank you for obliging me there.
Richest person in the world, according to Forbes.
Yeah.
With a net worth.
Yeah, what's his
with
net
the
worth?
Net worth, according to Forbes, Elon Musk's net worth, $268 billion. Money
Say
is
it again.
air.
How much again?
$268 billion. It's air. It's air to him. It's like we breathe air. He
breathes money.
This is nothing. That means nothing at that point. What's it mean at that point?
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
That money
Does
exists.
he still go to the store and say, God, these milk prices are high?
He has his own store. It's just
he could literally buy. Well, he could. It goes without saying, he could buy Lincoln. He could buy our state.
He could buy the whole state.
Yeah,
like a ton of times.
Does he still fret over things that we fret over?
Yeah. How do you think that guy shops? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Does he have somebody go get it for
Honey,
him?
we don't need that. I mean, we don't. No, we don't need that. We don't need those frosted cookies. Let's cut back a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that
It'd be funny if he goes to the store on a budget. Yeah, we can only spend this much this time.
Does that happen?
We got to bring the coupons. We got to get a good deal.
Does he clip coupons?
Yes, you think a guy with a net worth of $268 billion goes to the store with coupons? We're looking for buy one get one free. We got to get it. We got to get that.
Would he buy his son a used car?
You buy him a Tesla, of course. It's his own product there, but it'd be funny. Hey, you get a used car today. 402-464-5685. Bird in Columbus says, it's too bad that Elon isn't a Husker fan. Think of the NIL possibilities there. You want a Tesla coming to Nebraska? You want $1 billion coming to Nebraska?
Wouldn't it be weird? Every player driving a Tesla. Just Teslas in the lot.
Which one's mine? Is that one of yours over there? How do you drive this damn thing?
Oh,
all right.
Interesting, Jake. That's interesting.
Yeah, I had to bring it up, but that was two things that amazed me: Mike Trout and Elon Musk.
Does he change a flat, or do you just have somebody do that for you?
Does he? Yeah. Does he drive his own car? Does someone drive for him?
I don't know. I'd be weird. Yeah, I would think that even if you had that much money, you'd still want to live a normal life.
That's the thing there.
Could you live a normal
I've always thought that if you were super wealthy, like I'm talking, like Elon Musk, billions upon billions of dollars, there's still party that wants to live a normal life, right? You
change a flat.
I don't want to be driven around everywhere. I like driving.
Right.
I don't want to be just chauffeured everywhere.
I think you could drive. I saw a video the other day of LeBron, the king, just driving down the LA freeway, whipping down the LA freeway. Someone pulled up next to him driving, 75 and waved.
Right.
He waved
because he wants to be a human being.
Yeah,
he wants to drive.
The king was driving. And it struck me like, wow, the king drives. The king drives.
Buffet Son says if he gets a flat, he probably abandons the car and just gets a new one.
Well,
shipped
yeah,
to
if
him.
your car breaks down and you're Elon Musk, you don't worry about it at all, right? Most of the world, like me, that's code red stuff. Oh,
He's like,
God.
okay, how much is it going to cost?
Yeah.
He's like,
It doesn't
take
really
a
matter.
couple
I'll
buy a new
buy
one.
the factory. I mean,
Just buy out Ford real quick.
Transmission problems. I'll just buy certified transmission. It'd be strange, wouldn't it? I mean,
do it right here, right now. Let's do it. Okay. His car drives itself. Is that true?
Elon Musk worth $268 billion. That's a big shot, though.
We're curious if he drives ever himself or goes to the grocery store.
Even for Elon Musk, that's a big shot. $44 billion to buy Twitter.
Okay, he's getting help from it. He's getting financed 2 other places, but there's no way to talk down $44 billion.
I'm frankly surprised Twitter's worth that much. Now, this is where we get into amateurism territory on this show, because I don't know how Twitter is. How could it be worth?
It's really hard for me to.
How do you assess that?
Yeah, how do you assess worth of like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat? Because there are advertisements on those mediums, of course. You see them all the time.
I don't know. It can't be driven by that, or is it?
It's gotta be part of it.
Value.
Well, yeah, the amount of people that are on the app or on the website, users.
Twitter is somewhat powerful.
Also think about this: if you're Elon Musk, you could buy any home in the world. You're the richest man. You could put a house over the entire state of Rhode Island, probably. Yeah, my house covers the entire state.
Yes,
the entire state. Okay, I want to talk some sports here for a second, and we'll get to Robin Washington.
Are people saying that?
No, actually, we're getting quite a bit of text on this. Yeah, John says this. Yeah, this is a good point. Can you imagine the headaches all the money would give you everyone asking for money. The relatives you never knew coming out of the woodwork. You have to become a hermit. I mean, it's the same thing as you win the lottery. It's people like you want to keep it private so no one comes and say, hey, I'm your third cousin once removed. Do I get some money from that? For Elon Musk, how many people are coming to you saying, I'm related. Can you help me out? Or can you fork me over some money? Possibly.
Most people don't want to ask for money, though. If you were his brother, I don't know that I would ask him for money. I wouldn't. My brother's rich. End of story. Right? Your brother's Elon Musk? Yeah, he's rich. But I'm not asking him for money. I don't know if you would. I don't think you would. Would you? If he volunteered it, I guess. But I don't know.
Someone says this, and I don't know the math on this.
You think I'm crazy?
No.
I think I'm right on that.
This is how much money Elon Musk has, if you want to compare it to Lincoln for a second.
Okay.
Lincoln's about 300,000 people.
Okay.
I didn't do the math on this, so I'm taking the listeners'
word.
With 300,000 people or so, Elon Musk apparently could give every resident of Lincoln $89 million.
Wow. Yeah, that's power. That's power, right?
Yep. Sean says this is a good segment. The Jake is amazed segment. It thinks, yeah. In this world, I need to be amazed more. I'm not amazed very often. I don't know. It might be a me problem. It might just be a jaded problem. I don't know.
Here, would it amaze you? Now, this is a serious question. Would it amaze you if Nebraska finished 10-2 this year?
Yes.
As a football team?
Yes, it would. What else?
Would 9-3?
If the Dolphins won the Super Bowl, I'd be amazed.
Would 9-3 amaze you?
Where things are at now, I think so. Yes.
Would 8-4 amaze you?
I don't think amaze is the right word there. Would it pleasantly surprise me? Yes.
Just pleasant. So 8 is pleasant surprise. 10's amazed.
Yep.
That's interesting.
There's
how
just too much. There's too much error there by the team.
That's a lot. That's a pretty thin line from pleasantly surprised to amazed.
Well, I think the schedule again. The schedule is gettable if you're good. If you're not shooting yourself in the foot. But
hold on. Amazed. Are you sure 10-2 would amaze you?
Based on what I've seen the last 5 years, yeah. Yeah, it would.
I don't know that I attach amazed.
I am ready to be amazed this year.
I don't know if I'd be amazed. There's something to this conversation, right? I wouldn't be amazed, which tells me what? That I don't think they're that far away. I think 8-4 would not amaze me. Okay.
I said that too.
Right.
I said to be pleasantly surprised.
So isn't this informative by accident? Hold on now, just stop. Get away from Elon Musk for a second.
I am.
Hold on. You got to be careful with this.
Why?
Because you've been very critical. If you're not amazed by 8-4, it suggests to me that you think the program's not in that bad a shape.
Well, I said I think I would be pleasantly surprised about 8-4 because I do believe I am with people in saying the schedule is gettable. Michigan is your only extremely tough game. Oklahoma's tough too, but the new head coach. Michigan on the road is difficult, but you avoid Michigan State, you avoid Penn State, you avoid Ohio State.
If you are only pleasantly surprised by going from 3-9 to 8-4, it suggests to me that you have more confidence in the program than you let on.
I just saw, and you hate when I bring this up, I'm doing it again. I just saw a Northwestern team go from 3-9 to division champs the next year.
And you have profound respect for Fitzgerald.
Right, but it shows it's possible.
Right. So this
you got to get out of your own way, though. Nebraska is in their own way more than the opponents are.
But it suggests to me, I think you got caught a little bit in a trap.
No, I'm not in a trap.
I think so.
That's a 2-game difference. 10-2.
No, if you are only pleasantly surprised by going from 3-9 to 8-4, if it's just interesting, then that suggests
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised. That suggests that you think they're not that far away as a program.
Well, last year they lost a lot of. They were close against good teams last year.
I'm not being caustic. I'm not attacking you. I just think you got caught.
I'm not caught. I mean, Nebraska has been a better team than what they have put on the field the last 4 years.
It's an informative conversation.
They have just shot themselves in the foot too often. They've been in all these games. They make the critical mistake. Like that, if you can clean up critical mistakes, then you should be winning. We should be winning 6 or 7 games without pause. That's why 8, I'd be pleasantly surprised. I don't expect 8. And then at 10, I'd be amazed. Yeah, I'd be amazed. If this team, which missed 5 straight bowl games, went 10-2, we should all be amazed.
Yes, I'll grant you that. I think now it's informative to me in another way. Yeah, I'm about like you actually. 8-4. 8-4. Would I be amazed?
No, we'd be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. What I said is correct. 8-4. Pleasantly surprised. 9-3. I mean, a little bit more than that.
Have enough to go 8-4.
It depends on if they
Schedule
get out of their own way.
Schedule leads you down that
Do they
path.
add defensive linemen in this offseason? Right. Do guys stay healthy? I mean, health's a big part of this. Some teams just they can't stay healthy and it kills them.
What does Chris always say from
Nebraska
Baldwin Shop
is a
4-9 win program?
Yep.
So in that regard,
8-4 is a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, pleasant surprise, but not
10
amazing.
wins is amazing.
Not amazing.
I stand by what I said originally.
Chris always says Nebraska's become a 4-9 win program. So that fits with what you're saying.
Claytonia John says, Jake speaks for the people. I do. 8-4, we'd all be pleasantly surprised.
Not amazed.
10-2, this state collectively amazed.
If you're amazed by 8-4, you don't have a lot of confidence in the program.
I didn't say I was amazed by it.
Right. No, you didn't.
Pleasantly surprised.
Right. But if you're out there and you're saying you're amazed, then you must not have a lot of confidence in the program.
I hope I'm either pleasantly surprised or amazed this year. How about that? Robin Washington next, an early break in the ticket.
Bagels and Joe is ready for the spring with pesto cream cheese, great on any bagel. Try a mint and peach Arnold Palmer while you're there, and don't forget their locally roasted coffee, delicious breakfast burritos, and bagel boxes for the office. Bagels and Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Husker fans, your Nebraska softball team is competing for the 2022 Big Ten regular season title. There are 3 more chances to support your Huskers at home during Fan Appreciation Weekend, May 6th through the 8th. The team hosts Indiana in a 3-game series with giveaways each day. For more information on promotions, visit Huskers.com. Get your single game tickets now at Huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Breezy but warmer conditions on the way for our Tuesday, topping out near 72. South winds could gust over 25 to 30 miles per hour. Heading into tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low down to 50. Even warmer tomorrow with an afternoon high of around 80. And once again, south winds gusting to near 30. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Southeast Community College has learning centers in Falls City, Hebron, Nebraska City, Plattsmouth, Wahoo, and York so that you can take credit and non-credit classes at a center nearby without having to travel an hour or more to campus. By taking online classes and those at a learning center, you can earn your degree from SEC where and when it's convenient for you, all at a cost that won't stand in the way of your education. Learn more about SCC's learning centers at southeast.edu/learning centers. SCC, your path to possible.
Yo, it's the captain, Rashawn Jackson. Join me this Wednesday at Wingstop at 28th and Superior from 11 to 2 for Husker Sports Talk and, most importantly, wings.
That's Wednesday at Wingstop at 28th and Superior, the official sponsor of the Captain. Order wings ahead at wingstop.com. See you there.
Tune in every Monday morning throughout the summer at 6:45 a.m. for golf course reviews on the Nebraska Golf Passport Early Break Golf Tour with Jake Sorensen and Steve Sipple on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There is always news in the offseason regarding Nebraska sports, Nebraska basketball, football, and we are going to talk a little basketball right now with Husker Online's Robin Washut. Good morning, Robin. Thanks for joining us. Yesterday, a very interesting name entered the transfer portal from Aurora, Nebraska. South Dakota State star Baylor Shireman, who was a former great quarterback in high school, also obviously a great basketball player. He's going to be a highly sought-after prospect or a player in this next coming season. Robin, I'm curious, how strong of a chance should Nebraska feel like they have with Baylor Shireman now in the portal from South Dakota State?
They're going to have a chance. Now, they are going to have no shortage of competition, first and foremost, with the NBA. Baylor's still going to go through the draft process and kind of figure out what his intentions are after that. But then there's the whole element of going up against, once again, some of the biggest blue bloods out there in college basketball if he does return to school. So it's going to be a intense battle to get him, but he's a Nebraska kid, and this is one another type of deal, like with the Sam Grizel situation, where there's a connection there, and Nebraska actually has an in with Baylor of the appeal of coming back home and playing close to his hometown, and being able to capitalize on that. And to Nebraska's credit, as soon as his name officially showed up in the portal, Fred Hoiberg was on the phone with Baylor Shireman, reaching out to his people to kind of let their interests be well known, so that there was no confusion about how much of a priority he would be. So it's very early.
Wow.
We're less than 24 hours since this thing has actually gotten moving, but there is a high level of interest on Nebraska's part, and I think there's certainly a level of interest on Baylor's part. Now the matter is that interest in coming back to play for his home state school going to be enough to compete with all the other options he has on the table?
Pleased to be joined by Robin Washut of HuskerOnline.com. You do a good job as Robin Washut, but I would like to ask you, you're welcome, to give us your Hubie Brown assessment of Baylor Shireman. Why is this such a big deal? What's he like? Jake can't do this. What
a 3-point shooter.
What kind of player are we talking about? Size, etc.
6'6" guard who averaged almost 8 rebounds per game, almost 17 points per game, and shot 47% from 3-point range. So, a do-it-all guard in every sense, or he's a big physical player who is deadly from beyond the arc, who can attack the boards and be kind of an all-around type of player, which You could say this for most teams, but certainly fits the bill for what Fred Hoiberg wants. I guess the one thing you can say is obviously there's a significant jump between Summit League competition and high major, especially Big Ten competition. So you just got to wonder how those numbers would translate. But certainly for what he was up against, Baylor Scheierman was as good of a mid-major player as there was in the country. And that's why the level of interest, people are already calling him one of the best transfers available overall in the portal right now, and certainly the best mid-major transfer on the market. So, I mean, the three-point shooting is what really jumps out to him, but the fact that he does have that size and he is as effective as he is on the glass make him a multi-dimensional player that really checks a lot of boxes of what coaches at the high major level are looking for right now.
Joined by Hubie Brown. How much different is Baylor Scheierman than Sam Griesel?
Well, the shooting immediately jumps out. Sam, he could score, but I mean, like I said, Baylor Scheierman's one of the elite shooters in the country. I mean, when you're shooting almost 50% from behind the arc, that's incredible. Yeah. And so that's what really separates him from everybody else. With his size and shooting, he can get his shot off really at any point that he wants. And so that kind of, when you look at how that's going to translate from Summit League to high major, I mean, that's a pretty good indicator that he's going to be okay. When you're that big and you're able to hit from really anywhere past half court, that transition is going to be a lot easier for you than it is for most players.
Yeah, 47% of threes is ridiculous. That's crazy. Joined by Robin Washington. Robin, last week we talked to you. Juwan Gary was on campus. Now he's a commit to Nebraska, a forward from Alabama. So I'm curious: is Nebraska are they going to be good enough with the bigs right now? Blaise Keita comes in, Derek Walker, now Juwan Gary. Do you like the picture they have with the bigger guys?
Yeah, as it stands right now, assuming there is no further attrition, which I have no reason to say there will be as far as their front court is concerned. I think they're good with what they have right now, and they have not only numbers for once, where they have more than like one or two guys that can play the 4 and the 5. They've got some diversity in there as far as skill sets, where you have big traditional centers like Blaise Keita, and I'd even throw Oleg Koyanets in that a little bit. You have Derek Walker, who's a proven commodity and leader, play certainly the 5, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if he sees some 4, where you play one of those centers like a Blaise Keita and Derek at the same time, to give yourself a little bit more of a Big Ten front court look. And then obviously with a guy like Juwan Gary, he's only 6'6", but he plays a lot bigger than his height, just with the intensity and aggressiveness that he has in attacking the glass and defending the rim and being just kind of an aggressive presence in the paint. So, they've got a lot of, and obviously Wilhelm Breidenbach coming back. He's got Big Ten size, but he's also, kind of one of those offensive threats that Fred really covets. So they've got guys that can do a lot of different things. It gives them a little bit of versatility, depth, and options with what they can do with their lineups in the front court, where for far too long they've been so hamstrung just by a lack of numbers in that spot. So the Juwan Gary pickup, stats, they don't do much for you. 6.5 points per game, 3-something rebounds per game, but he's the type of guy that his impact is felt far beyond what you see in the stat sheet. He just makes a lot of those winning plays that can go a long way, and not only just helping you win games, but kind of creating the competitive culture that, in my opinion, has really been lacking in this program for far too long. So I really like the pickup in a lot of ways, especially just as a complementary piece to what they already have. And if anything, it really kind of highlights, in my opinion, the kind of new approach that they're having to recruiting and building their roster to where it's not just about going and getting the best available player and the best available scorer. It's finding pieces that complement what you have and kind of go towards building a complete team as opposed to just a bunch of top-tier individual players.
Trey McGowan's update. Do you have one? Trey McGowan's.
Yeah, at this point, I think Nebraska's proceeding as if that scholarship's open. Right now it's one of those deals where Trey, I don't think, is in any rush to make a decision, whereas Nebraska is. And, they've already got their forward, so that kind of tells you what you need to know about Lat Mayen.
Okay.
And we just talked about a 6'6" guard that they're looking. They're also trying to recruit Antonio Reeves, putting the full court press on him. So it looks like they're trying to get a guard, and right now they're oversigned by one, if you include Trey McGowan. So that leads you to believe they're recruiting as if they have a guard spot available on their roster. And like I said, I've been saying every day that passes, the already slim chances of Trey coming back get slimmer and slimmer.
Thank you, Robin.
Robin, always good stuff. Thank you for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Absolutely. See you guys.
Husker Online's Robin Washut.
See, that's interesting. You got your answer. I think you got your answer on Trey McGowan's. I think that they're moving forward without Trey McGowan.
I guess I expected that. I didn't think he'd be back without Bryce. I know he was
right.
He was without Bryce to begin with, but I thought it seemed pretty clear he'd be gone. But some people didn't think that.
Okay,
it's okay.
Let's play the game show.
Let's do that. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. I believe you lost yesterday. You're 0-1. Today's topic is NBA player colleges. What schools did these NBA players go to?
I like it.
Like that? All right. 464-5685. Shut Up Simple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 402-464-5685. The lines are jacked today for NBA player colleges. People are watching the playoffs, apparently, or at least know where these guys went to school at. You feel good about this today?
Okay. I'm really happy that the lines are jacked on a Tuesday.
You prefer this to World Capitals trivia?
Yes. Absolutely.
Come on. I thought you were a geography nerd over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
I thought you were. Guess not, though. No. All right, we're getting the name up there from Gus, and we will play the game show. Who do we have here? We have Darren. Darren, how do you feel about NBA player colleges?
I think I'm pretty strong at this, so we'll kind of see.
All right,
Okay,
Darren.
Darren feels good.
Darren, thanks for calling this morning. I hope you have a good day.
Hey, I appreciate that. Zip, you too.
All right.
All right, Darren, we'll start things off with you. What school did the Heat's Jimmy Butler go to?
Gosh, I feel like I should know this, but I'm going to go ahead and pass that.
No guess?
No guess.
All right, I'll give you the horns.
I'm gonna take this.
All right, school. All right, Sip.
I'm gonna go for the steal.
What school did Jimmy Butler go to?
Marquette.
Marquette is correct. 1-0 lead for Sip.
Well done.
Thank you, Darren.
Here's your first question for a 2-0 lead, Sip. Here we go. What school did the Grizzlies' Desmond Bane go to?
I like him. He's a good outside shooter. Just a good player. Strong. Strong to the rim. Really good compliment to Ja.
How about the school? 5 seconds.
Looks like a football player, actually.
5.
Looks like he could have played linebacker.
4.
Desmond Bane. I have no idea where he went. I'll say Virginia Tech.
All the description, but no answer there. Darren, do you want that one or want to let that pass?
I'll go ahead and pass that.
That would be the TCU Horned Frogs for Desmond Bane.
Jeez, he's good. He's a
He's a good
one.
player.
Yeah, he's really good.
All right, Darren, for the tie, your last question. What school did the T-Wolves' Anthony Edwards go to?
UNLV.
I'm stealing it. Now I'm going to steal this.
Who are you laughing?
Darren, it's okay. I'm going to steal this
for the win,
but I cannot tell you that I'm positive about this.
All right.
It's one of two schools in the SEC.
Why are you stealing it then?
Because I got to go for it.
No, you don't. You're up 1-0. You don't have to
Georgia Bulldogs. Bam. Thought maybe it was Alabama, but
yeah, you did not have to go for it because you're up 1-0.
Right. Georgia.
You could have got your question right, Andy. But Georgia is correct. He was number 1 overall pick a couple years ago. Darren, thanks for calling. We'll get you a bagel and coffee, but call in down the road. All right, Darren's gone. Lost today.
Ooh, crawling back toward 500. 76 and 83 is the overall.
You've been like 7 below for a long time.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have. But nice
Hey,
win.
Mr.
Nice,
Sunshine.
Nice win today, though. You want your last question?
Please.
What school did the Raptors, OG Anunoby go to? This one you should know.
Wisconsin. UConn. Virginia.
A lot of horns there. How about Indiana?
Oh, yes.
Indiana.
Yes, should have known that.
You're right. And last question, tiebreaker. As of Monday afternoon, so before last night's games, how many players were averaging over 20 points per game in this year's NBA playoffs?
As of last night's game?
Before last night's games. As of yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, okay.
How many players were averaging over 20 points per game in this year's NBA playoffs?
22.
That's not a bad guess. 27. 27 players over 20 points per game. So congrats to you. You win pride today. Bagel for Darren for his efforts.
Brooklyn goes down to Boston last night, 116 to 112. Brooklyn swept.
Yep, they're done
in that series. Boston stamps itself as a threat to win it all.
Boston is tough. I mean, the Nets, Kyrie didn't play very well last night.
Durant did play.
He played well. Yeah, Kevin played well. KD played well. Kyrie did not. And no Ben Simmons again.
I'm looking, if I'm Nets management, I'm taking a very hard look at Nash because all you got out of that team was a 7th seed and a sweep in the first round.
It's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad when you have KD and Kyrie on your
I don't know if
roster.
Steve Nash is the guy.
It gives you serious pause.
The spillover is next on Early Break on the Ticket. Last thing before break, guys, I've been telling you for a long time about craft axe throwing and how it's a great time for all parties, big or small, and beginners or experts. It's a lot of fun on the 13 throwing lanes. They've got private events for groups of all sizes, and it provides a truly memorable afternoon or evening for everyone in your party. Craft Axe Throwing has a stock bar and multiple TVs to watch all the different games. To schedule your next corporate or social event or for more information on their leagues and events, call them today at 402-802-9696. Again, that's Craft Axe Throwing at 18th and N in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Breezy but warmer conditions on the way for our Tuesday, topping out near 72. South winds could gust over 25 to 30 miles per hour. Heading into tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low down to 50. Even warmer tomorrow with an afternoon high of around 80. And once again, south winds gusting to near 30. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association on this station.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
An Empire Fence is an investment in your home. This year, use your tax return to make that investment. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and security while improving the appearance of your home. Visit empire-fence.com to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home. With your tax return on the way, schedule your project now. Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence.
Bagels and Joe is ready for the spring with pesto cream cheese, great on any bagel. Try a mint and peach Arnold Palmer while you're there, and don't forget their locally roasted coffee, delicious breakfast burritos, and bagel boxes for the office. Bagels and Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
Find great deals now on new Rams, Jeeps, and more during Ram Truck Month and the Jeep Celebration event at Baxter Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Shop our entire inventory of new and certified pre-owned vehicles anytime. At Baxter, we put you in the driver's seat.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Storage Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 Highway 6 in Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers Great Plains Regional Auction on June 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We'll be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 2nd and 3rd in Kearney. RSVP by calling your local Landmark location or at landmarkimp.com/events.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Call Nebraska Auto Detail today at 402-601-5086.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover. DP is here. Jay might be here soon, but DP's here for now. I guess what we've got some feedback on YouTube from a certain Eric Strickland right now. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Strick.
Yes.
He just called. I was like talking to somebody. So I couldn't
He's
know.
up early.
Yeah, this is an early day for him down there.
Here's what Strick's saying regarding the game show. He knew Desmond Bain went to TCU. Then he says, "Shut up, Sipple." On YouTube.
So you should have. Why don't you have Strick in the segment?
I didn't know he was listening.
Not a bad
until
idea.
Right now.
Not a bad
Have
idea.
Strick-
God, I
have
love
Strick-
him. I love him.
Yeah.
We should be tapping his NBA knowledge all the time.
Mhm.
But he talks about it on his show.
Strick also says, I put this on the stream. He says, regarding the Nets who got swept by the Celtics, he says,
swept.
I think Nash is in trouble. He just could not make adjustments in the series.
That's why I'm wearing shades today.
Thank you, Eric Strickland. Appreciate
It's a
that.
funeral for the Nets. It's a funeral for the idea and the thing.
That's why you're wearing shades.
The thing that's in play.
That's pretty dark.
He is wearing shades.
I'm all black today. I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, is this a Nets funeral?
As it is, this thing that is will not be next year. It won't be.
And my thought is that that KD stays, but I'm not sure who else does. I'm not sure anybody else does. Like I know
does Nash stay?
KD likes Curry. KD likes certain people that KD likes, and that he feels like he can go in a battle with. But I'm not sure the Kyrie or Nash thing goes forward.
I'm profoundly disappointed with that organization. That all they could muster was a 7 seed and they got swept.
Well, simple as your waiter told you last night. They can't. The Nets can't worry about what the folks at 93.7 The Ticket say.
Too tough for Ben Simmons.
Yeah. So be careful, Simple. That dude's handling your wings.
Yeah.
Maybe careful.
No, but Nash ain't going nowhere. Why would you fire Nash?
And for who?
Why?
Because of what I just said. I'm
Because
not
all they could
overthinking
do-
this. They had a 7 seed and were swept in the first round with Kyrie Irving and KD.
So you wouldn't change one of the Kyrie Irving or KD. KD's not going there. You wouldn't. You would. You
I'm
hired
pinning
Steve.
it more on Nash than anybody.
Ooh. Well,
No.
Kyrie cost them 53 games.
Not completely.
He didn't play. He didn't play for 53 games. You're missing.
He
you're
in
missing,
fact
you're-
They didn't lose 53 games.
You're missing the
They didn't lose all 50.
You're missing
the wear and tear of having Kyrie in your space and not contributing.
Right.
So he's
Can't you
going to
get
take
more out of Kyrie.
not if he's not there.
Well, I know
come to
the
work.
situation. What?
He didn't come to work. Like, are you not understanding the
No, I
dynamics
do. I
of
know.
the season?
I totally understand what he did.
Okay, then.
He no-showed.
Okay. Let's just dummy it back here. He comes out of high school, goes to Duke, has an ankle injury, plays 2 games. Number 1 pick, always injured in Cleveland. Here comes LeBron, wins a championship. That's not good enough. Somehow he's being told he needs to be the guy. He leaves and goes to Boston. Boston essentially does everything underneath the sun for him. Whole organization is around him. Who he wants to play with, how he wants to play. Then magically, he stops pretty much committing, a bad teammate, and then he leaves. Then he goes to his hometown, right? Where he's from, right? Then he gets KD, arguably the best player in the world right now.
I used to think that, but go ahead.
Okay, 1, 2, or 3. It's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger, but whatever you want to do. Okay, it's top 3.
I'm glad you used that version.
Yeah,
of
right,
it.
right. I was right. So now he has KD, right? Then there's a problem.
My God.
Now there's a problem. So this isn't a Nash thing.
This is a Kyrie thing, is what you're telling me.
You can't manage
He
a
played the
personality.
playoffs.
You can't manage a personality that can't get along with 2 of the top 3 players in the world.
So you guys are pinning this on Kyrie.
Not the whole thing. They didn't play well. But
They-
then it is management. It is whoever's did these deals. You bring James Harden in. You're supposed to have a big 3. 2 come to work. One of the big 3 has a problem with the dude ain't coming to work. He's at practice. And he's playing out of position, a Hall of Famer. James Harden, a Hall of Famer. And he's playing out of position, making the ultimate sacrifice to come here to play with 2 dudes to win a championship. Well, I only see you on the off days when I'm practicing.
Right.
And then now I got to answer questions about you. Now I got to get worn down.
He had him in the play. Nash had Kyrie in the playoffs, a full Kyrie, healthy, ready to roll.
No, because remember he had some religious, spiritual things that he had to deal with, right? That focus. It was constantly.
It's always something.
A thing.
I understand that,
and it was always about Kyrie instead of the team and the mission.
When he says I didn't want it to make it about me at last night after the game, it's about you.
Like he literally made all of this stuff.
You
about
zoomed
him.
in during training camp. You said, you know what, I'm not coming in, but you can hit me by Zoom.
Phil Jackson got them 2 wins in this series.
Yeah, but Nash is there's a huge bridge between Nash and Phil Jackson.
I know. I just
a
picked
first year
Hall of Fame
coach. Yeah, I mean, I think there's some. I think there's some rookie coaches in the NBA that would have gotten better out of the Nets, but they would have run into the same problems. In that
Kyrie's that big of a problem.
You made team and mission and company mission fall by having to deal with the constant narrative and the constant distraction and the constant pain in the butt where everybody goes, okay, what's Kyrie going to say today?
Okay, but
what's Kyrie going to do today?
Can't somebody get Kyrie in line?
It's been tough because I mean, like his wife is trying to find a way.
I'll repeat myself.
I heard you.
He's played with two of the top 10 players, arguably of all time. Okay, Jordan, LeBron, KD is he's in there somewhere.
No, that number's like higher than that.
Okay, top 5. You've been blessed to play with two of the top players of all time in their prime.
Well, LeBron, Harden, KD, for starters.
No, take Harden out of it. I'm talking about the top two of the top 6 players of all time in their prime. Not when like Shaq's like number 36 leaving Cleveland or the Celtics and like 330 pounds. I'm talking about you play with LeBron in your prime and you said it's not good enough. After you win a championship and LeBron said, you know what, you're a big part of it, and wanted to hand the keys over to him. I don't want the keys. I want new keys. And then I get up with Kyrie or get up with KD in his prime, who came here because of you. He left an easy way to win dynasties of championships in Golden State to come play with you. And then, then you decide.
And that he didn't go, KD was going to go home to DC. And Kyrie convinced him to come to Brooklyn.
Because we're going to do this together.
I just thought
they should have won more games.
Yes.
But that's all. Here's where it is.
Friday night I was struck by the lack of Friday night. I'm going back to Friday night. I was struck by the lack of urgency by Brooklyn.
Right.
I was struck by really the whole series.
Well,
and that to me is more of a coaching element than a Kyrie. I love Kyrie's game's incredible to me.
Oh, we're not talking about him as a player.
His headspace is there.
There's more than there's plenty of guys that can run fast and jump. I mean, jump.
There's more than that.
No, there's plenty of guys in football that can do amazing things.
Well, there's
it comes down to there's more than his individual game in basketball.
I understand that.
I mean, I think the Nash argument would be, is it more coaching versus management?
He managed it good as best he can. Coaching,
right?
Is where he lost it.
Because
got outcoached in that series.
Because of the personalities involved.
Right.
I mean, these are huge personality profiles. So that's a thing.
Whose idea do you think it was not to play Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge? Whose great idea do you think it was? Because KD got Blake Griffin.
Nash's idea.
Okay, well then that's how he got like out coached. And then you saw that's what you talk about urgency. That was the only guy on Friday that played with urgency. And he was huffing and puffing because he ain't been playing.
I didn't think he well, I don't know. I don't know what kind of adjustments you can make. Boston, I mean, swinging the conversation, Boston plays incredible defense. I mean, incredible defense in my opinion.
But did you not see Boston before the All-Star break? They were in shambles.
I saw them early in the season.
And they were talking about firing this coach. But what happened is they decided as a team, so that'd be you. We got my man right here. So us 5 decided as a team that we're going to do, he's going to be this player. We're going to be these 2 guys, and you're going to play off of us. Kyrie decided not to do. He's like, I'm going to still do my thing.
Is there somebody out there that can make him fall into line? Kyrie. And say, come on. I mean, you're an incredible talent.
Who it is? You know who's going to get him to fall in line?
Who?
Kyrie. It's a personal choice. At what point in time do you need to have another grown adult to try to get you to do your job as a professional?
At the highest level.
He's so deeply flawed that he can't see what's going on right now.
Oh, I think walking out of the building the other day, that video, you just said, oh, you just look terrible.
What are you talking about?
Well, they caught him leaving.
And a fan shouted.
And well, no, they caught him, and he was kind of in a moment where this is not. Somebody asked him a question. He just kind of looked at him. He didn't have an answer. That's when you know that the BS has reached apex.
The reality has hit him. See, when I watch Kyrie in his, like, I guess, post-game interview, I see a guy that he's like, oh no, reality has finally hit him. Some guys live in this world when they come to, and I played with guys, they live in this world and it doesn't hit them until the season's over. Like, we actually just lost, and I just did something and participated in something. Was it really worth it?
And I would almost bet you that the Nets still thought they were going to win the series last night.
They thought that they could
they
win
were
one
Down
game.
3-0.
Well, they thought they were
They're
good enough.
delusional.
They thought they were good enough
Oh, the whole season.
just
Yeah.
well, but that's the management part that we were talking about, and in-game adjustments. They had two of the best players in the world who were able to pull them through some really bad in-season situations. So they thought that's what we can do. We can do that at any point. Well, that's not the way it was. Not in the games that matter, not in the playoffs. And Boston said, "Nope, we're not going to let you do
They weren't
that."
going to go to Boston.
We're not
They
going to let you
weren't-
do it.
if Nets stole that game somehow, which I never thought they would, they weren't going to Boston stealing anything.
They had the nice little run when they had the 3-point barrage.
Yeah, they
But
made a nice little run. I never thought they were going to win the game last night. Brooklyn.
fatigue and lack of trust in each other
And Boston's
The only team
good.
that
does not go past any team or any man.
Boston's really good too, and they're really bought.
And
in.
I don't think that Boston knew how good they were. Boston could not have projected a 4-game sweep.
No. But
They-
once they
it
saw
couldn't
blood
happen.
in the water, once they saw blood in the water,
I was wrong yesterday, and you guys corrected me, and I'm glad you did. I thought about it last night. I was watching a game. Boston gets to the rim way too easy against Brooklyn.
Yeah,
way
that's-
too
yeah,
easy.
the one I mentioned,
they
there
weren't
was an
playing
easy
good defense.
breakdown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
weren't playing good defense.
The last four
Defense
buckets
was
are
optional.
wide open layups.
What do they call them? El
That's like
Matadors?
a-
Is
yeah.
El Matador? Isn't the dudes that do with the Bulls over there in Spain? Aren't they El Matador? That's the El Matador.
The reason I kept
Yeah.
saying, I was saying to Alex, grandson Alex, they ain't winning this game. Brooklyn's not winning this game because Boston always had an answer on the offensive end. If they needed a basket, they were getting a basket.
Well, but the difference between good teams and great teams, when they need to turn the tide of a game, they do it through defense.
Kansas,
right? They do
Kansas
it through
did that.
defense.
The
Good,
Kansas did that.
good teams will go, you know what? I need to go get a bucket. But yeah, that thing, you don't really control that.
But and also when you look at the Nets and their offense, it's all one-on-one. When you're facing a high pressure, really, really good rotational team like Boston,
Good
you have to have some action.
Well, they were
You-
forced 30 feet from the basket.
Because it's all one-on-one. Like all they did was skills training. They forgot to run any type of sets or any type of actions to get them loosened up to go one-on-one.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
No,
it wasn't pretty.
It was
The only
evident.
team to get swept this playoffs is
Do you
the
think they
Nets.
zoom
They-
their?
they
Do
look
you
their
think
third
they
best odds
zoom
in
their
the league.
exit meetings? Do you think they? Do you think Kyrie is in the building right now with his exit meeting right now?
No, they're gonna Zoom call that exit.
Do you think?
meeting,
Do you
bro.
think they? Do you think he comes in the next day?
Why not?
He don't want to face.
He didn't
that.
come the first day. Do you
He
think he's
did not
coming the
wanna-
last day?
Yeah, he
Simple. I mean,
he lived there,
are
but he
we, are
wasn't
we
married.
off? Are we off? Kyrie didn't come to work the first day.
You got to get him in line. You can't allow that. You just can't allow it as management. You can't allow Kyrie to do his own thing.
Well, whoever's in play, they took an L.
You can tell he bought because his game when he's playing, he's incredible. I love watching him. But then all the nonsense, I don't understand.
But Sip, do you not understand that that's part of the game? Like, there's a reason why Jordan reached the pinnacle where he's at.
because
right?
he has none of the nonsense.
When he stepped on the court, it's about winning.
Mhm.
Work.
And he worked.
Right. Work.
And I go to that part of what was it, Jordan Rules, when it was clear that when they were playing the Bad Boys Pistons, and it's clear he needed to bulk up, and the trainer said to him, "Okay, when do you want to start training?" He said it was after the series. He
Next
said
day.
tomorrow.
Right.
Tomorrow. Yeah, that's not Kyrie.
Well, and
But he's immensely talented. That's great. It's great to watch him. It's different playing in the regular season than in the postseason.
Look, cool. We got company.
I'm a fan. See, I'm a fan of
We got
Kyrie.
company.
But Sip, you can't let your fandom cloud your actual judgment.
But
this is the Randy Gregory versus Grant Wistrom analysis by you,
Yeah, it is. It is in a way.
right? Okay,
I
I'm dealing
have
with
faith
facts
in
and you're-
people, though, and I believe that Kyrie still has time.
Oh
to
yeah, he
become
does.
That
He has time.
have the championship mindset.
But you know what the time is? The time is right now. The time was last night.
I know.
I don't care what you can do in the future.
I got
right.
you. Oh, I totally understand.
Because you know what I'm saying.
What
I'm dealing
isn't
in
there
reality.
a teammate that can say something?
KD
Like,
was.
If
You
you're not
keep asking
listening,
the
if
same question.
if you're not listening
You
to
like a
KD,
kid that
you're
I
not
coach.
listening to anybody.
You ask the same question. I'm giving you the same answer, and you're trying to think I'm gonna change. There's one person that's gonna want to change. First, there's one element that's gonna change him to start. Kyrie.
If he's not upset enough today, then it's never going to change.
Ooh.
Like if he
never
didn't
say never.
If he didn't walk off the floor today, no, if he didn't walk off the floor last night, so embarrassed, so pissed off that he recognizes that this is on him, because he should. Now, mind you, I guarantee you ask KD whose fault this is, KD will say it's mine. If you ask Nash whose fault it is, Nash will say it's mine.
Kyrie?
I also guarantee you there's zero chance you ask KD how this thing
Kyrie.
went wrong that he would say Kyrie.
Oh God. Oh, so you're
But he
saying
got
Kyrie?
But I like
Kyrie.
I like Kyrie's little fro though. I do like.
stupid.
That's all you like about his
Yeah, I like his little
He's
fro.
like his fro?
Yeah, I like it. He
He's
got it's
stupid.
like that Denzel and he got game. I like it. I like how you playing.
Hey, we have a guest. Let's say
What's
good
he
morning.
think about this?
Special
Yeah, I was about to
guest.
say, I wanted to hop in on this conversation. I was listening outside the door. I was like, I gotta hop in on this.
That's Kobe Webster on Mach 5 over there.
Former Husker. So what do you say about Kyrie?
Personally, from what I've heard from the conversation, Kyrie's, I think he's mad. Like he's upset that they not only lost but got swept. But I feel like Kyrie lives on a different plane than a lot of people. And so basketball to Kyrie is a very small percentage of his life. And so I think that's why we get the perception that it looks like, he doesn't care or whatever. And so I feel like for him, that's just something he loves to do.
It's just a part of his day. I'm going to
Yeah,
practice.
and that's what and he loves to do it.
Yeah,
And it's not like, oh, I got to get up and go to practice.
Right.
It's, oh, I get to go to practice. I get to hoop. I get to whatever.
right. And then I'm doing something else.
And then I'm going to go home to my wife. He has a lot of other things that he partakes in. And so I think that's why a lot of people get the perception like it looks like he doesn't care or he's selfish or whatever. I think he just lives on this plane where it's in this space where it's like basketball isn't going to consume my life.
Right.
I'm not about to we lost,
Right.
but I'm not about to take that energy back home to my wife or
Right.
I'm about to
See, I
I'm
think-
about to go to this museum,
Mhm.
look at my art, look at,
Yeah.
I'm a do my fasting, I'm a pray, I'm gonna do all my other stuff that keeps me energized
Yeah.
and keeps me whole. And so I don't think he looks at it like end of the world.
Right.
Right.
And Kyrie don't got
that-
nothing to prove. I ain't gonna lie.
No, he don't have nothing to
So
prove
it's like,
individually.
yeah, and so
Individually, he
it's
does.
just I don't think he takes it and keeps that energy all balled up.
See, I think Kyrie is one of those guys that's immensely talented that likes basketball. He doesn't love basketball. And the C is he's so talented, he can like it. Because if
I don't know if I agree with this.
Well, if you love basketball, my brother, if you love a sport, I can tell you, you're going to sacrifice everything for it. No matter if you're Michael Jordan or Bill Laimbeer or John Koncak or somebody like that. If you love the sport, there is nothing else that comes before it.
How can you get that good without loving it?
Because he's immensely talented. I will repeat. Put
There's
it on the
talent
loop.
versus
Is there a
skill.
loop that you can
Remember
say?
the difference? Yeah,
I'm
there's a
feeling, I'm
difference.
feeling like Sip needs confirmation and repeat. He is so much talent, so much more talented than
Is it
ever-
talent or is it skill though?
Well, skill. That's what I. Skill.
Okay. I'm
His
just making
skill
sure
set-
because DP says the difference between talent and skill.
Okay, well,
there is a
skill-
There is a difference.
He's got
He's
skills
listed.
without working on it.
That's what I was about to say.
no.
Kyrie might be one of the most skilled
he's
players
a-
we've ever seen touch a basketball.
He is the best finisher for a small guy of all time. I used to say it was Isaiah.
That's not just talent.
No, it's
He
he
had to
has
work on
Hold
that.
on, he has skill, but that does just because he goes to if he works on it, we say 9 to 5. That doesn't mean he loves it. I can guarantee he's not Kobe where he's showing up at 4 o'clock in the morning and then he's going 3 or 4 times a day. He does not love basketball because basketball.
I think the
is not his-
mission of basketball. See, people get lost
with
in
Kobe on
the individual, the individual's place in the game and the way he approaches the game doesn't always equate to the grand mission of the team.
Okay,
like we've been around
with
some
you on
dudes
that.
who look,
Right.
they're very skilled. They're very talented,
hired guns,
gifted.
Right.
But those things, the great ones, Jordan has to take. He had to learn that I had to blend my personal skills to what my coaches need from me. And he did that in North Carolina, and he had to relearn it
In the pro league.
at the pro level because the things that he was good at, exceptional at, was going to make him great, but it wasn't going to make his team great.
I don't know if I agree with that either.
Well, but so here's you and I have had this discussion. So this is where,
because I feel like they saw Jordan's talent and was like, hey, we about to put this triangle offense in so that you can catch the ball right here every time, because that is where you're best at. And they did the same thing with Kobe.
But what did Jordan have to do with Brad Sellers,
Pippen, Bill Cartwright?
What did he had to do with the other guys?
He had to cuss them out.
But he also had to get he had to get them to spaces and then acknowledge them.
Yeah.
He had to say to Steve Kerr, listen, Kerr, I need Kerr on the floor. Even if it's just in theory, I need him on the floor for the things that he can do.
Because he's going to space the floor. He will move his defender a few more steps.
The difference between that and what Kyrie is doing is that's a bridge. There's a huge bridge between that.
Kyrie's the smaller version of Orlando Woolridge. Orlando Woolridge would go to 88. He was on 10 different teams, and he 20-9 coming right off of there.
And the Bulls wouldn't have been the Bulls if they had kept Orlando Woolridge.
You like Reggie Theus?
They would not have become the 6-time Bulls if they hadn't had in fact kept Orlando.
You know who Adrian Dantley is?
They didn't
that
need
much on the Big O.
They didn't need that. They didn't need him.
Sip, do you know who Adrian Dantley is?
Yeah, AD. Yeah.
These are kind of like the same way. Keep walking buckets.
Yeah.
Right now,
Utah went through that.
Mark Aguirre.
Utah went through that with Adrian Dantley, right? They had Stockton, they had Malone, they had pieces around it. But what Dantley did stopped them from being great.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they went and got, let me go. I need Antoine Carr to come in and
we're old
body up.
guys. We're talking old
right?
dudes.
Yeah, you see, I haven't joined in on this conversation.
This is the old school.
You can say all this, and Kyrie is still a great player. He cannot be. You can be a great
love
player.
him as a player.
You can be a great player, not a great teammate.
That's what this is about.
But if you love basketball, you're going to be a great teammate.
Yeah, okay. You summed it up well there.
Right, that's the truth.
No. That's the last part, though. I don't know about that. I think he's just flawed as a human being.
That's part of being a teammate.
But Jordan's teammates would have said the same thing when he
in the moment. Right. But what about now, though?
Yeah, now that's what I'm saying. Kyrie's still playing.
But he's not pushing anybody to greatness. He's taking energy away from great. If I am in that, here's the thing about leadership people don't understand, and don't understand. I can't implore you to do something or demand something from you that I'm not willing to do. That's why Jordan had no qualms about saying you don't work hard enough. Because same with Kobe.
That's the personal part of Kyrie that's flawed. I don't know if that speaks to his love or non-love for the game.
I said as a teammate. Right.
Well, look, we've had this conversation as well, that you can tell me you love winning, but your actions have to match. And that means you have to do all the stuff that requires you to win. Everybody wants to do what they do well and win. But that's not how it works. There's a piece of what you do that you have to become greater at. It is a less thing that you have to get greater at. That's where teams become great. When you decide to work on the stuff that affects your team in a negative way the most. And for Kyrie, it's showing up. Show up. Like, you can't tell me, look, I'm all in, and then you there 33% of the time.
But that's like I said, he lives on a different plane. You can't fault him for.
I'm not faulting him
not
for it.
wanting
I'm just
to
pointing out
get a vaccine when every other state in the country was going to allow him to play, but New York. That doesn't even make sense.
You made a choice for you, which you were entitled to make. The results and consequences of said result is what makes you a grown-up.
But this
like
isn't even
that.
about
It
this
makes
year.
you a
like
pro.
last year. He took a break.
Like he took a break at Duke. He took a break at
last
Cleveland.
But that's what I'm saying. He lives on. Basketball doesn't consume his life.
But that's why he can't be the guy.
That doesn't mean he doesn't love basketball. That means he would rather sacrifice basketball than his health, than his family, than these other
and we're good
things
with
he partakes
we're
in.
good with all that because it shows up in places where he had those decisions you choose and how you live your life. Like we got folks, I need to go home. Okay, well, the work still need to be done.
God, it's fascinating.
I mean,
but did the work not get done?
But the thing
Every
about
game he
Kyrie-
played in, he averaged what? He was almost an all-star and played 10 games
You
before the
got
all-star
swept.
break.
You got swept by Boston. The
But
work
this
didn't get
Kyrie
done.
stuff is
Yeah, for sure.
This isn't
The work
about
didn't get
Brooklyn
done.
though. This is who Kyrie is though. This isn't something like just popped up out of like the last like 20 months.
See, this is why I love this dude.
This is Kyrie since he got in the NBA. It's just as manifested. You want to know why he's able to do more and take more breaks? Because he's getting paid more and he's a higher profile. When you're a rookie, you ain't getting away with that, man. Guys that get stardom, they feel empowered to do it. All right, I'll do whatever I want. Not saying that he goes to that magnitude, but your attitude changes after you win a champion. Anthony Davis, he wins a championship. I ain't got nothing to prove. What are you talking about, dude? That'd be like saying Trent
Anthony
Dilfer.
Davis and Kyrie's on a different level. Kyrie ain't got nothing to prove.
We're not saying that you have nothing to prove. Your actions it's just like somebody that comes into a whole bunch of money, right? And then all of a sudden they say, "Oh, he became a 100% a-hole." No, that was just dormant until you made $100 million. So it brings about it. So it's the start. And Kyrie is not. This doesn't fall all on Kyrie.
No, it doesn't.
KD could have played better.
Kevin Durant was a problem. That was
right. He could have
that was
played
bad.
better, right? Because he was. I mean, KD. I feel KD is so immensely talented and should be so much of a basketball genius that he should be able to find a way to get through it. Steve Nash should have coached better.
They
should have managed the roster.
They might have known we can't do this with Kyrie, and maybe it just wore him out.
No. They were hoping
something didn't look.
They
right.
were hoping that they could. But
I'll say defense. They ain't never played nobody
It was
like
optional.
that.
It was right.
I'll say
Right,
this. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. When the NBA decides it's going to humble you, it's going to humble you. And that looked like to me when you can let KD couldn't get across half court without taking a forearm shiver and you do nothing about it. And he looks at you like, okay, I just don't get no calls. No, you play the game.
All right, hold the conversation. We got to get to break. We're way behind.
Yeah, Simple,
old school is
Simple's
next.
got somewhere to be.
Super busy.
All right, old school is next. See ya.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark